You park your car, you grab your groceries, you walk inside. And for thousands of people every year, the most dangerous part of the drive has just begun. Because your car might still be running. And if your garage is attached to your home, you may have just filled it with something you can't see, can't smell, and won't notice until you're too weak to escape. Here's the strange part. The gas itself isn't new. Cars have produced it since the very first engine turned over. What's new is why it's suddenly killing more people than it used to. And the answer has nothing to do with the fuel, the engine, or the exhaust pipe. It fits in your pocket. But first, you need to understand what that gas actually does once it's inside you. Your blood carries oxygen using a molecule called hemoglobin. Carbon monoxide binds to that same molecule roughly 200 times more strongly than oxygen does. It doesn't compete fairly. It shoves oxygen out of the way and takes its seat. Your heart keeps beating, your lungs keep breathing, but your blood has quietly stopped doing its job. Your brain and heart, the two organs demanding the most oxygen, fail first. And the cruelest part? None of it feels like an emergency. It feels like a headache, like fatigue. Like you should probably just lie down. So firefighters in Florida decided to find out exactly how fast this happens. They parked an SUV, closed the garage door, started the engine, then they waited. 30 minutes later, the air inside had become too dangerous to enter without oxygen tanks. In a separate test, carbon monoxide climbed to 33 parts per million within a single hour behind a closed door. At 70 parts per million, people start getting headaches and nausea. At 150 to 200, disorientation, unconsciousness, and death. The room didn't look any different. It just quietly stopped being survivable. Now used the word toxic to describe what their car could produce. They knew what the gas did. They knew the fob didn't guarantee the engine was off. And still, for years, the cars kept shipping exactly as they were. Regulators knew. In 2011, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration proposed a rule requiring keyless cars to either shut off automatically or sound a loud alarm if the driver walked away with the engine running. Engineers knew how to build it. Some automakers, Ford and GM among them, had already added it voluntarily. And yet, for more than a decade, millions of keyless vehicles kept rolling off the line exactly the same way. Some manufacturers didn't add the fix until 2020, more than a dozen deaths after their first known case. Congress finally forced NHTSA's hand in 2021. However, as of 2026, the rule still hasn't been finished. But here's what makes this bigger than one gas, one car feature, or one government delay. This isn't really a story about carbon monoxide. It's a story about what happens when engineers solve one problem and accidentally create another. Cars have gotten quieter for the same reason they got keyless: comfort. Electric motors don't roar the way combustion engines do, and that quiet turned out to have a second, unrelated cost. Pedestrians, especially blind and low vision ones, stopped being able to hear vehicles approaching at low speed. Crash data showed hybrids were involved in pedestrian collisions at a noticeably higher rate than gas cars doing the exact same thing. So in 2016, regulators had to force manufacturers to add fake engine noise back into electric cars, just so people could hear them coming. Two completely different hazards, same root cause. A feature designed to remove friction from your life quietly removed a warning system nobody realized they were relying on. That's the pattern worth remembering. We tend to picture dangerous technology as something that looks dangerous. Sharp blades, high voltage, open flame. But some of the most dangerous design decisions of the last 20 years look like nothing at all. They don't fail because a part breaks. They fail because everything works exactly as it was designed to. The engine runs exactly as intended. The silence works exactly as intended. Nobody made a mistake. The mistake was already built in. So the next time you pull into your garage, glance at the dashboard before you walk away. Confirm the display actually says the engine is off, not just that your fob is out of range. It takes 2 seconds. And sometimes the most dangerous thing in your life isn't the thing that's broken. It's the thing working exactly as designed.